The Death Gate is a portal. It connects the 5 realms. With a good ship and the right magic, anyone can cross the Death Gate from one realm to any other. Have you? No, I haven't been able. I've made preparations, but it's always been my intention to send an emissary, or more appropriately, a scout in my stead. In fact, I was hoping that you would be my eyes in these realms. It's very simple, yet infernally unattainable. The books describe the necessary preparations. You need a ship, one powered by magic with the ability of flight. You need a steering stone, magically treated to guide the ship through the portal. But upon the stone, you also need the naming rune of the target realm. The book states this, but neglect to actually show the runes, as if they were common knowledge. None of the books depict these runes. For years I've been researching the subject, reading every document, poring over every scrap of parchment, and I believe I finally divined one of the runes, that of Arianis, World of Air. It's the only one I've been able to reconstruct, and it's taken years. I don't even know if it's possible to produce the others, given the pitiful research materials I have. It's my thought that the other runes might lie somewhere inside the realm of air. For some time, I've been planning to send someone there to look for them. Yes, the Sartan were kind enough to leave one for us. It didn't have the steering stone that such a ship requires, but I was able to reproduce one, without the naming runes or the realms, of course. Let's take a, step back. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know. I don't think their disappearance was planned. All the documents indicate that they expected to be around for a long time to enjoy the fruits of their labor. It seems that one day they just vanished. I have a few theories. It's possible that they did plan to vanish. They might be hiding somewhere in the realms, using the disappearance as a smokescreen to make us careless. When the time is right, they will return with our deaths in their hands. In any case, I take nothing for granted. I must know where the Sartan went to. I must have vengeance. Our people cry for it. Somewhere in the realms there must be signs, clues. Eventually we shall discover them, and the trail will lead us to the Sartan. Then we shall destroy them. What were they like? I've pieced together a picture from the books I've found. The Sartan were the opposite of us, even physically. As we have black hair with white ends, the Sartan have white hair with black tips. The runes that we place upon bodies for protection and to enhance our magic, they shun. I believe that while the Labyrinth has forged us into a harder, stronger race, the Sartan have grown softer in their luxurious realms. They will be no match for us. They will look into our eyes and find the mercy they gave us, the hatred we've kept burning for thousands of years, and their own deaths. You repaired my heart rune? Yes. As the Labyrinth continued to attack you, the magic rune tattooed over your heart became weaker and weaker. When I discovered you, it was actually broken. As you know, heart runes must be complete to function. They sustain us, protect us. They are like circles. The magic of your being continually flows through it. If it becomes weak, you cannot cast spells. If it ever becomes broken, you fall ill. Luckily, I found you in time. I was able to draw upon my own life force to lend to you. It repaired your heart rune and made you strong enough to overcome the final hurdle of the Labyrinth. Alright, tell me something useful. Certainly. Patrons have magic in their blood. Once, we were the greatest sorcerers in the world. If we had learned to work together as the Sartan did, they never would have stood a chance against us. Since then, we have lost much of our skill. We have forgotten many spells because they were useless in the Labyrinth and retained only a very few. We never lost our potential, though. To this day, we can cast any spell as long as we know how it is constructed, but we are pitifully ignorant. One of the things we must do before we confront the Sartan again is to relearn the magic that we have forgotten. How does magic really work? Magic is based upon possibilities. The possibility always exists that a reality is a certain way. Imagine that a stone wall blocks your path. There's a possibility that a door exists in that wall. A wizard bends this possibility into reality until the door appears. All spells work this way. Spells are made up of runes. You build a spell by putting these runes together to form a rune construct. When you have built the construct in your mind, you trace the design in the air. The magic catches fire and leaves a glowing trace behind your finger. Upon completion, the spell casts, and reality is changed. The easiest way to learn a new spell is simply to watch someone casting it. All you have to do is mimic the motions, trace the same rune, construct in the air, and you are casting that spell. Another method is to see it on paper. Sometimes people prepare books of spells, other times they include spells to highlight their text. Spells can be found on any document. I've scoured these halls looking for any such books and come up empty. Perhaps the Sartan were careful about the text they left behind, just in case we escaped too soon. Finally, One may discover a spell permanently placed upon an object. When a wizard wishes the spell to be permanent, he can magically prepare an object to receive the spell, then cast that spell upon it. Then the spell is always visible. It engraves itself upon the surface of the object. By studying it, one can learn the spell. I'm afraid that, like most patrons, your repertoire is rather limited. You know only the basic spells, heat and cold, normally used to keep yourself alive in the harsh climates that the labyrinth can produce. They are powerful, but not very versatile. Yes, I do. There are 2 spells that I intend to teach you, Identify and Rune Transfer. Both will be very useful in your mission. Identify can supply information about any magic object or spell. If you encounter an unknown object or learn a new spell but unsure about its magical properties, simply cast Identify. It will explain everything to you. The second spell, Rune Transfer, is very specific. With it, you can transfer a rune symbol from any object to a magically prepared surface. This will be necessary to place the naming runes on the 4 realms upon the steering stone. After I teach you the spell, I will give you a marker with the naming rune of Arianis upon it. You must take it aboard the ship to the steering stone. There cast Rune Transfer upon the marker and transfer the rune to the stone. Following that, the ship will be able to take you there, to the realm of air. Regretfully, I do not know the other runes that name the remaining realms. Hopefully in your travels you will discover these other runes. If you do, transfer them onto the steering stone in the same way. The Death Gate will never let you into the other realms if you do not. Alright. Xar chuckles. The labyrinth doesn't mind letting people in, it's letting them out that it doesn't like. I think the labyrinth has something personal against me. It tries to lure me in as far as possible before it throws everything it has at me. Don't believe I'm not afraid. Every time I enter, I wonder if I'll ever return. I've been able to get the best of that demon place many times, but every trip it gets more devious, more dangerous. What's your plan? The Sartan's plan was unnatural. They killed millions of men and consigned our race to a living hell. I intend to undo the damage. I want to reform the world. Much like the Sundering, the reformation will require all 5 of the seal pieces. I have the Nexus seal piece, but I need the other 4. The Sartan have hidden them somewhere in their realms. You must be my agent. I need you to go into the realms and find those seal pieces and bring them back here. When I have them all, I will reform the world, free our people, and bring the Sartan to justice. Now, I know the naming rune for only one of the realms. I will give you a marker with a rune upon it. Use the rune transfer spell to place it upon the steering stone on board your ship. The stone will then be able to transport you to Arianis, the realm of air. Since I don't know the runes that name the other 3 realms, I can only hope that you will find them somewhere on Arianis. I also wish to know what happened to the Sartan. Their disappearance mystifies me. Finally, I want you to learn any new spells that you come across. It's only through the infusion of new spells that we'll be able to build up our arsenal of magic. So, do you understand your mission? Take your ship to Arianis, search for its seal piece and the other realms' naming runes, and gather any information you can about the missing Sartan and new magic spells. When you have finished, come back here, deliver the seal piece to me, and give me your report. Now, I shall teach you the 2 spells you will need. Watch me closely. Xar's hand rises. One finger extends and begins to move against an unseen canvas. It leaves behind a glowing line in the air. The design follows the graceful movement of Xar's hand. Finally, Xar draws his hand back, but the spell remains floating in the air. This is the Rune Transfer spell. Study it, remember it. This next construct defines the Identify spell. Watch me again. The first spell fades, and Xar traces a new design in the air. This one is very simple and quick to complete. You stare at it and commit it to memory. That's all, my son. I am entrusting the fate of our race to you. Do not fail me. He tosses you a stone marker with an intricate symbol upon it. The naming rune of Arianis, you guess, and returns to studying the tome laid on the desk before him. Oh my god. Let's save that again. Ugh. Let's make that easier, because I'm probably going to be saving it quite a lot of times. Alright. Alright, here are the constructs for the magic. It's a lot easier just to go to spell and then click on, whatever you want, like identify. And you can always cancel. Alright. This gate is the final portal of the labyrinth. Just beyond is the hell you called home for most of your life. You can examine stuff like this, but we want to go to our ship. I forgot. We want to take the glow lamp. You slide the glow lamp from its decorative holder. Xar looks up and remarks, "Yes, I forgot that you'll need some light for the ship's interior. I'll still have one glow lamp left. Feel free to take that one." 5 points. You get points for doing certain things. Obviously, that means you want to get the highest score possible. You carefully place the glow lamp on a mount by the door. With the new light, you look around your ship carefully, identifying the navigational tools provided. In the center, you see the steering stone. It is the power to guide your dragon ship through the Death Gate and into the other realms, as long as that realm is represented by its naming rune on the surface of the stone. To the front of the ship, you see the steering wheel. Once you've traveled to a new realm, this allows you to navigate your vessel to places within it. You stand in the cramped bridge of your one-man dragon ship in front of the navigational wheel and steering stone. Alright, you want to go to the marker and then use the magic on the marker. Rune transfer. And then transfer the marker onto the stone. You transfer the marker onto the steering stone, 10 points. Use the steering stone. You call on the power of the steering stone to take you through the Death Gate and into Arianis' world of air.